Hello and welcome to Before the Heights on the SEC Network. We're at Stegman Coliseum on the campus of the University of Georgia as the 7th-ranked Bulldogs host the 13th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats. Good evening, everyone. I'm John Roethlisberger alongside Olympic silver medalist and world champion Alicia Sacramone-Quinn. Alicia, we've got a great one tonight. I've been excited for all the competitions this year, but this is going to be a great one. I just feel it. Number 13, Kentucky, comes and visits number 7, Georgia, and this would be a big win for the Kentucky Wildcats.
Both of these teams are 2-2 in the SEC, and Kentucky's coming off a huge victory over LSU last week, and they had to be patient going into the season. Coach Garrison knew that it was going to be a little bit rough. They need to get athletes back to get where they need to be, where they are right now. Georgia is, they had a big road win last week. They're coming here looking for some consistency. They've had some highs and lows. They want to be getting in the flow of scoring over 197 every week, and they haven't hit that stride yet.
So Georgia's put up some big numbers, looking for that consistency. Kentucky Wildcats, man, they are looking for their first win against Georgia head-to-head. But one of the bright spots for Georgia last week was the vault rotation. They're number 3 as a team on this event, and this was a great one from Rachel Dixon.
Rachel Dixon performed a beautiful half-on from pike off. Nearly perfect. I might have given that a 10 if I was a judge. She just had that one little heel come together. Absolutely stunning.
A lot to love about that vault. Shades of Courtney Capets-Carter actually on that vault. Things to watch for tonight. We're going to discuss building and maintaining a dynasty in women's gymnastics. We've got the tale of two programs between Kentucky and Georgia. And then J&A Academy is back. We're going to talk about the subjectivity of judging. Gosh, we could have a whole show on that, Alicia. And then, of course, national and SEC news. And then we're going to preview a great one. Number 2, Florida, is going to be going up against another top 10 ranked team, the Alabama Crimson Tide. So we're going to just discuss all of that and more in tonight's competition. Meanwhile, here are your lineups for tonight's competition for both of these teams on each event.
The Dance Dogs. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, turn your attention to those lining the vault area. Gym Dogs are excited to welcome back breast cancer survivors to this evening's meet. Please stand and give them a warm welcome. And thank you, Piedmont, for your support of Georgia Gymnastics. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing at this time as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem, performed today by the Yargo Elementary Chorus under the direction of Elizabeth Veal. Thank you to the Yargo Elementary Chorus for being with us. Thank you to Georgia Power for today's light show. Learn ways to save on your energy bill this winter by visiting georgiapower.com/tips. Georgia Power is the official power source of the Georgia Bulldogs. Fans, welcome to the Stag and this evening's meet between your Georgia Gym Dogs and Kentucky. Right now, let's welcome our visitors, the University of Kentucky Wildcats. And now let's meet the Wildcats, introducing a freshman from Spring Hill, Tennessee, Josie Angeli. A sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida, Ella Warren. A sophomore from Gibsonia, Pennsylvania, Megan Monfredi. A senior from Swanee, Katie Stewart. A senior from Covina, California, Aubrey Rosa. A sophomore from Prince Settlement, Louisiana, Madison Everett. A junior from Cambridge, Wisconsin, Molly Ford. A junior from Midlothian, Texas, Haley Rowland. A sophomore from Raleigh, North Carolina, Mackenzie Harmon. A senior from Tyler, Texas, Sydney Dukes. A senior from Waldorf, Maryland, Danae Davis. A freshman from Miami, Ohio, Kelly Nixon. A junior from Cypress, California, Elena Kwan. And a senior from Foxborough, Massachusetts, Alex Hyland. Kentucky is coached by the assistant coaches Rachel Garrison and Chuck Dickerson, and the head coach for Kentucky is Tim Garrison. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kentucky Wildcats. Kentucky, please follow your line leader and march to your first competitive event.
Here we go, Georgia.
Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. Everybody wants to rule the world. There's a room where the light won't find you, holding hands while the walls come tumbling down. When they do, I'll be right behind you. So glad we've almost made it. So sad we had to fade it. Everybody wants to rule the world. Everybody wants to rule the world. Everybody wants to
And now, let's meet your 2019 Georgia Gym Dogs. Introducing A freshman from Ames, Iowa, competing today on bars, Alexa Al-Hamid. A freshman from Thomasville, Sterling Austin. A freshman from Plano, Texas, competing today on beam and floor, Rachel Bauman. A freshman from Cranford, New Jersey, competing today on floor, Sammy Davis. A freshman from Hillsborough, New Jersey, competing today on vault and floor, Rachel Lucas. A freshman from League City, Texas, competing today on vault and beam, Michaela McGee. A freshman from Duluth, Alyssa Perez-Lagones. A freshman from Toronto, Canada, competing today on bars, Megan Roberts. A freshman from Winter Garden, Florida, competing today on vault, Abby Ward. A sophomore from Huntersville, North Carolina, competing today on bars and beam, Marissa Oakley. A sophomore from Huntersville, North Carolina, competing today on bars, Emily Shields. A junior from Canton, Michigan, competing today on all four events, Rachel Dixon. A junior from Carmel, New York, competing today on vault, beam, and floor, Sabrina Vega. And a senior from Raleigh, North Carolina, competing tonight on all four events, Sydney Sneed. And now the coaching staff for your Georgia Gym Dogs. The trainer is Doug Kentowie. Manager, Suzanne Goosen. Student coach, Jordan Patterson. Volunteer coach, Suzanne Jakob Lieber. Assistant coach, Jason Monk. Assistant coach, Josh Overton. And in her second season is head coach of your Georgia Gym Dogs, Courtney Dupet Carter. Georgia fans, these are your 2019 Georgia Gym Dogs.
Coming up, we'll have number 13 Kentucky as they visit number 7 Georgia live next on the SEC Network.
Jim, is your 2-minute transition period in preparation of your first warm-up begins right now.
Infinity. Empower the drive.
Hello and welcome to Friday Night Heights on the SEC Network, presented by Bell. We are at Stegman Coliseum on the campus of the University of Georgia as the 7th-ranked Bulldogs host the 13th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats. We got a great crowd here tonight. My name is John Roethlisberger. I'm alongside the one, the only, one of America's most decorated, Alicia Sacramone Quinn. Alicia, always great to be here with you. And we have got a great atmosphere here tonight in Stegman Coliseum, and the Kentucky Wildcats coming in looking for a win that they have never gotten head-to-head against the Georgia Bulldogs.
Both of these teams are 2-2 in the SEC, so they're looking for that victory tonight. Kentucky comes in after a big win over LSU last week. It has been slow and steady wins the race for Tim Garrison and this Kentucky Wildcats team. He told them, don't get discouraged. I know we had to be patient to get to this point where we are now in the season, but it's time to build off the momentum there it had last week. They're looking for a victory over Georgia. They've never won in a head-to-head competition. And then we have Georgia. Courtney Kupets-Carter has been leading this team. They had their first road win last week over Mizzou, and they want to keep building steady scores. They've been a little bit all over the place, one high 197, one low 196. So they're looking for consistency, and they want this team to get the notoriety they deserve, but they just need to be a little bit more on the ball. Last week, Rachel Dixon was shining star on the vault, which has been a big point for Georgia this season. That nice vault that Courtney Kupets-Carter actually competed when she was here, the round off, half on, front pike off, very difficult blind landing, and Rachel made it look easy.
It looked like a 10 to me, Alicia. We'll see if she can get one tonight. That is the event that Georgia will start on this evening. They are the home team. That is their event. You can see Georgia's got their own crazies in the stands here, all painted up. This is their vault lineup. Team average of over a 49.2 for them. They are number 3 in the country on this event, and this is a great place for them to start. With this much energy, they can just let it fly. We're going to get going right away. This is Michaela McGee, freshman out of League City, Texas. Pearland Elite Gymnastics, outstanding club down south.
Michaela's been their lead off the last few weeks, opening up with a big Yurchenko full, just that small hop backwards. They've been working a bunch on looking for the landing, so you should be seeing them making the attempts to get those big sticks.
Just the tiniest of hops.
Not much deduction-wise there in form. It should score well.
That is going to be a great start for them. Now, the Kentucky team, they have had an up-and-down season with injuries and illnesses, but the team, as you mentioned, Tim Garrison said to be patient, and here they go. They're starting to get it together. This is senior Katie Stewart.
Big Takacha release move on the high bar. Free hip handstand to bail. Nice tight form. Back up on the high bar. A little short on that handstand there. Full twisting double layout. Kicks it open at the end. Does not move her feet. That was a nice start.
And we sat a chance to stand next to the bars watching them warm up before the meet today, Alicia, and they stuck landing after landing, getting it going on the right foot here. And this is the rules for gymnastics. 6 gymnasts up on each event. They count the 5 best scores. That means they can drop the low or drop a miss should they have one. Obviously, they total them up. Highest score wins. Home team starts on vault. Visitors start on bars. And the visitors also have to end on balance beam when the pressure's on. That is a tough place to be. Now, Abby Ward, the freshman, follows Michaela McGee's 9.8.
Vault's a soup full. Pike down that landing, had her chest down when her feet hit the mat. Ideally, you want to see her more vertical on that landing when her feet hit, but very difficult vault. Not much deduction-wise besides that on the landing.
Another clean vault, tiny hop, looking for their first stuck landing there. But again, the first 2 vaults up, consistent, clean, something to build on for the big vaults coming later in the lineup. Now back over to the uneven bars. This is freshman Callie Dixon. She's out of Miami, Florida. She's already got a high this season of a 9.9, and she's following a 9.8 from Katie Stewart.
During bars, judges are making sure those athletes are hitting their handstands. They want to see nice, clean, tight form, and then they're looking for that landing. The dismount is the last thing they see, but it is the first thing they will deduct if it's not done well. Line change full to immediate double back. It was a hit routine, but I could tell there were some mistakes here and there. She was maybe looking to connect something here and then missed it. That blind change full was a little bit late, not straight up in the handstand, but she made it work, didn't have any major flaws or deductions for falls or anything like that.
Most importantly, though, the stuck landing 2 for 2 for Kentucky on bars, and throughout the competition, that can make a huge difference. Now, Sabrina Vega, one of the veterans of this Georgia team, She is a junior. She's been very consistent this season on this event, has not gone below a 9.8. And Abby Ward did get a 9.825 in the 2 spot.
Sabrina does a big Yurchenko full. A lot of height, a lot of distance, a lot of power. Shows on that bounce backwards.
I got a question for you. That looked like the best Yurchenko full as far as distance and height, but had the biggest hop. What did the judges do with it?
It was the best combination of height and distance, but you're right. You're going to have a decent-sized deduction for that hop. Probably a good half a tenth there minimum. So remember, Yurchenko full does not start from a 10. It starts from a 9.95.
Callie Nixon for Kentucky got a 9.875. Now this is Elena Kwan. She's a junior out of Cypress, California. She had a 9.85 last week. That was her high of the season.
Mounting up onto the high bar. Line change to big straddle Jaeger to
Huge.
immediate shoot over. Difficulty there connecting those skills, getting bonus points. Line change full to immediate double back. Oh, just couldn't hold that landing. Was looking for a great routine for her.
This release move though, wow.
Great form. Sorry, John.
In the rafters.
Super high, has all the time in the world to be able to bring her feet up to do that bail connection, and then the immediate double back from the blind change full.
Another hit routine for Kentucky, another very clean routine. Now, the moment we've been waiting for. Rachel Dixon last week, a 9.975. This is an amazing vault. Can she break that 10-0 barrier?
Looking for the stick, just that small hop.
She was digging the toes into that mat.
So
she wanted
hard.
it.
Great form. Legs were glued together. Just that small. She hopped like an inch forward, if that. Great distance. Solid control. Suzanne jumping up and down, loving it.
Sabrina Vega got a 9.85 right before Rachel Dixon went, so I would be shocked not to see Rachel get in the 9.9s. Meanwhile, over on bars, Kentucky continues to roll. 9.875 for Elena Kwan. Now their final 3 gymnasts. Sydney Dukes up next. One of the veteran leaders, senior for the Wildcat team.
Hitting that handstand on the high bar. Tkachev.
There are their scores so far. Very solid. All above a 9.8.
Back salto, pirouette to toe shoot to the high bar. Double leg, kicks it open at the end. Just that small hop backwards. You did see the legs come apart in that second flip. We have a little bit of a different angle than the judges do, so I can see some stuff they don't. Over that handstand, they could get her for a little bit of loose form there, and then that Tkachev up and over the bar.
Sydney Dukes earned her way back in that uneven bar rotation, did not compete that event most of the season last year, but she is an all-arounder again, and she is loving it. Now a freshman for Georgia, Rachel Lucas. She can go big as well. She is number 11 in the country on this event. They've got some huge vaults in the second half of this lineup.
Rachel typically vaults a Yurchenko double full. Very difficult, 10.0 start value. 1 flip, 2 twists, just that small hop. You see this vault at the Olympic Games. It's very difficult. Nice, little bit crooked off the back end of the table, but all the way around, just that small hop in place. Phenomenal vault for Rachel.
Rachel Dixon got a 9.9. I am expecting to see Rachel Lucas be right there in that range as well. And now over to bar. Sydney Dukes got a 9.85. That is her season high. Now Alex Highland gets her opportunity. She has a season high of a 9.9. She got that last week, actually, against LSU.
Mounting up onto the high bar. Big Tkachev. Just nice form from these Kentucky Wildcats. A little bit loose on that bail than the feet. Trying to keep the momentum. Full twisting double back to a stick. She made up for that loose body position on the low bar with that stick on the landing. Lots of height above the bar. Plenty of time to see where her hands are going to catch it at. Full twisting double back.
There you go. The anchor on vault for Georgia, she's Sydney Snead. She's number 3 in the country. She follows a pair of 9.9. She's set up for something even bigger, but she's going to have to stick the landing.
She performs a Yurchenko 1.5, 10.0 start value. Small hop. She's got pogo stick legs. I don't know. If she doesn't absorb that landing, she's going to get a decent high hop. She just needs to anticipate where the floor is going to be and try to bend her knees so she doesn't have that hop.
Outstanding vault rotation. The only thing missing for Georgia was a stuck vault landing. They just had some small hops, but nonetheless, they will put up a big number there. They are the number 3 team in the nation on that event, so that is to be expected. Now Molly Korth, the junior out of Wisconsin, will anchor the Kentucky bar lineup. Alex Highland, by the way, a 9.925. Man, this is looking like a good competition so far.
Height Jaeger. Dale Hansen, small leg separation when she let go of the high bar. Building momentum for her dismount. Double, full twisting, double layout to a stick. That was stunning.
What a bar rotation for the Kentucky Wildcats, keeping pace with the Bulldogs.
Such a difficult dismount, and she looked like she was just casually going into that dismount. It was amazing.
Coming up, we will open the J&A Academy, and this time we'll be discussing the subjectivity of judging. Yes, we need a whole segment for that. Friday Night Heights is presented by Belk, the home of modern, Southern style and official retail department store of the SEC. This week in the J&A Academy, we're going to talk about what everybody loves to talk about, gymnastics judging. As a case study, we're going to start with Rachel Dixon's bar routine. Take a closer look at it. This is from a few weeks ago. In this competition, both judges gave her a 9.9. We're going to look at it one more time. I'm going to give you my score. Clean mount, first handstand, pretty good. Beautiful release. Second handstand, shoot over, looks pretty solid to me so far. Maybe a little wobble in that handstand. Big dismount, and obviously no deductions on the landing. Honestly, Alicia, I'm struggling to find really any deductions. I think maybe a little bit on that handstand. I'm going to go higher than the judges. I think 9.95 is the right score for that routine.
9.95?
I'm calling it like I see it.
Are you wearing your contacts?
No contacts needed.
Oh my gosh, no way, buddy. I'm going to disagree with you here and with the judges. I personally believe that routine should have scored lower, so I think we're going to take another look at this, and I'm going to show you where I would take some of the deductions.
Okay.
Mounts up onto the high bar, hits that handstand, starts off great. Goes through the release. I see flex feet. I'm assuming one judge takes half a tenth, one judge doesn't take anything. Loosen that handstand, same thing. I just want to make sure each judge is seeing what they see. A big body position correction here. Moves from low to high. This handstand, she's going to get hit with a decent size deduction for that. Real loose in the middle. And then super hard dismount. Unfortunately, she does pike it down. You want to see straight body. Some judge might give her a deduction for that, some others not. I gave her a 9.825 for that routine. But I also have to remind you, I get multiple angles, stops, pinpoints of everything that she's doing wrong.
I think you're too hard. I'm going to stick with my 9.95. And I think you mentioned it. The important part is that people know judges are seeing this from different angles, and the deduction is in the eye of the beholder. But at the end of the day, you just want them to be consistent from one routine to the next, and you want to see that best team at the end winning the competition. In the next rotation, Kentucky moves to vault, and gymnasts that can change the fortunes of the program. Molly Korth will lead the way there. Meanwhile, we just analyzed her routine. Rachel Dixon, can she get the 10 on bars?
Sweat, dedication, cupcakes.
We played football together for the Titans.
Now we own a cupcake shop. I love this new Surface Pro. It's light, it's sleek, it's fast. Cupcakes are great business.
As long as you don't eat the profits.
Kick off the new year with a new iPhone included from T-Mobile. The amazing iPhone XR is perfect for all those New Year, New You selfies. And only T-Mobile has unlimited with iPhone XR included for just $40. So get the iPhone you love most from the most loved in wireless. Bring your family to T-Mobile and get the amazing iPhone XR included for just $40 per line.
The SEC Network presented by Belt. Number 7, Georgia hosting number 13, Kentucky. My goodness, it lived up to the billing in the first rotation. Kentucky holds a 1/10 lead. That is a school program record on the uneven bars, a 49.475. I think head coach Tim Garrison should be a bit happy about that, and they needed it. Only a 1/10 lead, even with that school record on the uneven bars. Now Kentucky, they go to the vault. They are ranked number 12 in the country on that event, while the Georgia Bulldogs will go to the uneven bars. Kentucky is led off on vault by Elena Kwan. We saw her on bars in the first rotation as well.
Onto the table, opens up with Yurchenko to a stick. Yurchenko full.
I'll tell you
Did
what,
not move.
they put some stickum or something on their feet tonight. Kentucky is just landing unbelievably well.
They don't have the most stocked lineup on vault with 10.0s start values, but if they perform their 9.95 start value vaults like that, they don't really need to worry about it.
So we're moving over to bars. This is Megan Roberts, and we're going to watch it from the judges' perspective. We just broke down a routine, and we want you guys to see what the judges see and how they see it. You guys can be the judges at home.
Hitting that handstand on the low bar, toe handstand to a Maloney. Swing back to Bale. Back up on the high bar, short on that handstand. Double layout. Small pike in the beginning, small hop in the landing, but that was a good hit and good start for Georgia on bars.
And here you go. Here's your handstand meter. Is there a deduction, Alicia?
Well, according to that compass, she's falling within the 10 degrees, but I'm going to say my eye compass was off then.
I think that's what we're talking about in the J&A Academy too. Is it's in the deduction is in the eye of the beholder, and the beholder is the judge sitting at that table. But it just gives you a good idea of the different ways that they can see it. Now, quickly over to vault senior Sydney Dukes.
She's going to do another Yurchenko full. She has nice control form, small step backwards.
She's voted off the island, man. She didn't stick the landing. Seriously, come on.
She's out of lineup next week. You're not sticking your full, you can't compete.
Still a great start for Kentucky. And talking about the judging again on bars, you know, you went through that routine, and a judge can have a half tenth, the other one can have no deduction, which leads to those quarter tenths that you talked about. And that can make a huge difference over the course of a routine from event to event. And that's the discrepancy sometimes that you'll see as you're watching at home as well. Now this is sophomore Emily Schild. She is second up. She follows Megan Roberts. Very nice starting score of a 9.825.
Toe handstand to Ray. Pack salto. Good control on the glide out before the kip. Loose belly on that pirouette. Hitting that handstand on the high bar. Double layout. Small pike and hips on the landings. Tiny step to the side. Nice air time, knows exactly where she's. Slight elbow bend when she catches. Ideally, you want to catch at a safe distance with straighter arms, not super bent. And then just that small step backwards on the double layout.
Neither one of these teams giving an inch so far. Now senior Danae Davis, Waldorf, Maryland native. She has been a vault specialist for Kentucky this year. She follows Sydney Dukes' 9.775. Our first score below a 9.8 in this competition so far.
Yurchenko full, small hop backwards, big height on that vault. Up onto the table, legs glued together. Just a little too much momentum, needed her chest up to be more vertical. That was pretty close though to being straight up and down. That was a nice vault.
That had a lot of air. Moving back over to bars, Sydney Sneed. She moved from the leadoff position on bars to third up. A little bit of a change for the Georgia game plan here.
Mounting up onto the high bar.
Emily Schild, a 9.85 for her routine.
Big Tkachev. Bale handstand. What I love about Sydney is she is very exact with all her movements. Her handstands are handstands, whether it's a release from high to low or just hitting them on before skills. Very great form. double leg. A little pikey, kicks it out and open. Sticks that landing though, so that was epic.
Let's take a closer look at that handstand. Dismount looked great, but did she lose one here?
She's definitely at that 80. I keep calling it a compass when I mean protractor, but I was just hyping her up too. I'm like, she hits these handstands, and then I jinxed her.
But that was beautiful. A beautiful finish there. Alex Highland gets ready to vault. Danae Davis' score right before her, a 9.825.
Nice, Yurchenko full to stick. That was beautiful. Oh my gosh.
I know it's early in this competition, but I have not seen two teams take haymakers like these two. They're back and forth, stuck landings, hit routines. This has been great so far.
Vaults judging, you're looking for amplitude, landings, and start value. Not all vaults start from a 10, so if you do have a 10.0 start value, you already have a little bit of an advantage.
This is Alexa Al-Hamid, and if you want to talk about a girl that knows how to fly, get ready, because she is stratospheric.
Line change full. She's going to do a Tkachev here. That is super high.
And you can see Sydney Sneed score 9.925. They are building on bars.
That was a bail to handstand to a toe circle. Back up on the high bar, hitting the handstand. Line change full, a little bit short from hitting that handstand directly to immediate double back to a stick. That's going to be a big score.
We call February the dog days of the season, but I don't think so. This looks like the postseason. Unbelievable.
Just absolutely huge. Like, you could fit a whole John Roethlisberger underneath her on that bar.
That is saying something as well. We mentioned Sydney Sneed's 9.925. Alex Highland, she matches it with her season high 9.925. 2 vaults left to go for Kentucky. This is Katie Stewart.
Katie Stewart had a lot of power in her warm-up for this vault. And she tried to stick that so hard. Just unfortunately took that step backwards. That is going to run and be a little bit more of a deduction than stepping forwards because it can considered an under rotation. But that vault, she was fighting for it.
She needed that stick too because Alexa Al-Hamid on bars gets a career high 9.95. You got to be perfect, I guess, in this meet tonight. Now, she has set up Rachel Dixon. We're going to watch this one again. We analyzed it in the J&A Academy. We're going to watch it from the judge's perspective. She had an outstanding 9.9 earlier this season. Let's see what she does here.
Nice feet that time around. No worry about flex. Oh, loose on the handstand, fighting for it. Oh, she saves it. Better bail than the routine we analyzed from a couple weeks ago. Short on that handstand there. Full twisting double A. A lot of power on that one.
She probably stuck that dismount 3 times in warm-ups and then in the meet just a little too much juice.
She just had a lot of power coming out of that release move, didn't have control on the glide and going into the kip, and then she overshoots the handstand, but manages to pull it back over. And then that full twisting double A was probably a little bit tired from fighting for that handstand and just gave herself a little extra tap in the Giants and just too much swing.
Now Molly Korth will anchor the vault rotation. She goes big here. Katie Stewart, you're right, Alicia. They hit her for that landing, 9.825.
Yurchenko 1.5. Oh, that was going to be another one on the landing. Jump with both feet and backwards. That's unfortunate because that was a nice vault, but the landing just wasn't there. She twists so fast, needed a little bit more rotation to get her feet underneath her to have that control.
That was some quick footwork, though. She was short on that landing, took that quick hop, trying to minimize it, but a solid vault rotation for Kentucky. Now Marissa Oakley for Georgia will put a capper on what has been an outstanding bar rotation for them. Rachel Dixon, you are right, they hit her for those handstands, just a 9.8 for her routine this week.
Marissa's up onto the high bar. Toe handstand, eagle grip to Jaeger.
Fingertip catch.
Hack salto. Pirouette.
Molly Korth just a 9.8 for her vault. They're hoping for more on that one.
Looks like she's losing a little momentum. Her juice maybe getting tired at the end of this bar routine. Full twist and double. Oh gosh, hot flash. That was too close to the bar for my liking. Oh my goodness.
If she didn't clip her toenails before the meet, she just did on the edge of that bar. Holy cow.
She should bring her feet further out and not close her shoulders when she, oh man, she was so close to the bar.
But she maintains her poise and sticks the landing. What a second rotation. Oh, I got to catch my breath. When we come back, we're going to talk about building and maintaining a dynasty in women's gymnastics.
Now this is Daddy's favorite song.
Alexa, play Dad's playlist.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Did the little piggy cry wee, wee, wee all the way home?
Maxwell.
Yeah?
You're home.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Mrs. A.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
I think that's the biggest challenge that we have right now, is to not be satisfied with the fact that we made it to nationals. We don't want to be a program that's what you might call a flash in the pan, here one time, gone the next year. We don't want to be that. We want to continue to build.
At Georgia, again, we don't have small goals. I mean, you set the bar high and you attack to try to reach those goals. And so the goal for this team this year is to be in that finals. Those 4 teams left on the floor, and to not be number 4. We want to be above that.
So it's the tale of two programs, and one trying to continue a dynasty, one trying to build one. And this is a great graphic. Kentucky's done a lot of great things in the last few years under Tim Garrison. But the one that jumps out to me is they have 1 NCAA appearance. They've done a great job. On the other side of it, Georgia's been there 34 times. They've won 10 of them. It's an amazing comparison, but let's start with Georgia. They have been there. They've had one of the most rich traditions in all of women's college gymnastics. But Alicia, how hard is it? What are the challenges of maintaining a program like that?
It's hard to stay on top. There's a lot of expectations. There's a lot of pressure. So you can't really have a down year without the naysayers, without people jumping on your back and trying to bring you down. There's a lot of talented programs out there, and there's a lot of athletes that you need to entice to try to come to your program. And, you know, Suzanne Yoklin built a great dynasty here, and they've been looking for someone that can continue that tradition. I think Courtney Kupets-Carter is that person. She was an athlete under her. She was on the team that won that last national title. She knows what it takes to be successful and put her own spin on it to modernize it to make this team great.
Obviously big shoes to fill for Courtney Kupets-Carter, but now on the Kentucky side, building a dynasty, obviously challenges there.
It's hard because they need to build respect. They need to know that they are forced to be reckoned with. So that entails, you know, building their following, you know, enhancing their facilities, getting what the right athletes that they need to get the fit of this team.
Tim Garrison has done an outstanding job there in his first 8 seasons. They made the NCAA championships last year. That is something to build on. And one thing he mentioned, he's got to bring in those hungry gymnasts that want to learn, and he's got to coach them up. He's done that so far. It's been an unbelievable competition. Big scores all around. Kentucky gets the lead after the second rotation, or Georgia rather, after the second rotation. They will go to balance beam with Marissa Oakley. Sydney Dukes will lead the way for Kentucky on the floor exercise. She is a defending SEC champ on that event.
Get 4 lines of unlimited data for $100 a month at Cricket. Ooh, someone's having a good hair day. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Coming up next, we'll take you to Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa for number 2 Florida, squaring off against number 9 Alabama. Florida is on a roll. And Alabama is going to have a tough time defending that home turf. Friday Night Heights is also streaming live, don't forget, on the ESPN app. Our score back here in Stegman Coliseum. Georgia gets back the lead. They were trailing by a 10th going into the second rotation. They get it back, but it is a tight one as the Georgia Bulldogs go to balance beam with Sydney Sneed.
handspring layout, step out, back handspring. 3 series connection. Gets bonus. It's difficult, fulfills the acro requirements. Switch leap, straddle jump. Back leg on that switch leap was a little bit low. Ideally, you want to get it to 180 degrees.
Here is the Georgia Beam lineup. They are number 5 in the nation on this event. Strong event for them.
Punch front, very difficult. She was a little bit tilted with her one shoulder, but managed to stay on perfectly straight.
Sydney right now, after 2, is second in the all-around to Alex Highland from Kentucky. Just a quarter of a tenth separating the 2.
Round up double full dismount. She got springs in those legs. The 3 skills, the back handspring layout and the back handspring, gets very close to the end of the beam. Her heel is actually off the end of the beam.
Playing with fire is Sydney Sneed, but another great start. She is such a good gymnast at any spot in the lineup. First, middle, at the end. She does outstanding. As we look at the Kentucky floor lineup, they're going to be led off by Haley Poland. Haley is one of those gymnasts that Tim Garrison had to be patient with this year. She's finally back in the lineup on 2 events last week. Some injuries and illnesses has kind of gotten Kentucky off to a slow start this season, but they still have the guns, they still have the horses to contend at the SEC and make another NCAA championship.
First tumbling pass, front tuck, step out, front handspring, front 1.5. Unique combination of skills, but she's trying to fulfill the 2 salto pass. Taking the dance in the corner, time to catch her breath. Front handspring, front double full. Switch side straddle full. Not all the way controlled or around on that popa. Just a 2 tumbling pass routine, which is not uncommon. If you fulfill all the requirements you need and you get from a 10.0 start value, you don't technically need that 3rd tumbling pass.
And again, still working on that difficulty. She's just got back in the lineup last week, so certainly something Tim Garrison wants to build as they head into the postseason. Now moving back over to balance beam, this is Rachel Dixon. She'll follow a 9.875 from Sydney Sneed. Outstanding start for the Gym Dogs. Had an outstanding competition, as we mentioned. UGA a program record for them on bars. Georgia put a season high, as we see a wobble from Rachel Dixon for them on bars, as well as UGA's season high on vault. So these teams going back and forth.
We've seen Georgia at least 4 times this season so far, and that's the first major mistake I've ever seen Rachel Dixon do.
And that might be the biggest single deduction, honestly, in this meet so far. It's been such a clean competition.
Well-controlled acro series of a back handspring step out, layout, step out. Switch sleeve, split jump. Back handspring, 1.5 to a stick. She had that one mistake, but finished the routine very strong.
Monday, our next SEC Inside gives you an all-access pass to Mississippi State and Tennessee basketball for never-before-seen footage and sounds from the season so far. Inside the Bulldogs at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Then it's the Volunteers right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. My wife will be all over that Tennessee Vol coverage. She's a big fan. They're having a fun season. This is Ella Warren, another gymnast who has worked her way back into the lineup this season. She did bars as well for Kentucky last year. She's just on floor so far this season. Like Poland, she's one of those athletes that's working on that conditioning, but certainly has time here in the middle of the season to get things fine-tuned for the conference championships.
First tumbling pass, front double full, which was so high, so much air time. That was beautiful.
Haley Poland, a 9.825 for a start score. Outstanding beginning for the Wildcats.
On floor, they're looking for the landings, having control on the tumbling. Artistry, you have to show your personality and have good showmanship, and they want to see big skills. Switch side, straddle full. Not all the way around on these straddle fulls, also known as a popa, for those of you that get confused when I say that.
I'm confused. We'll break that down in the next J&A Academy.
Front, 1.5. Just her last tumbling pass remains. Front handspring, front full, front tuck. Now I'm wondering if she's gonna have a small deduction for not having any back tumbling. All of her tumbling was front tumbling. I'm pretty sure it is one for composition. But as we both know, I am an amateur judge.
You are good to point that out. I don't know what that makes me. But a clean routine, very clean. And as we saw from Haley Poland, it pays off to be clean even if you're not doing that difficulty. Now the first team to blink, if you will call it, is Georgia. Rachel Dixon, just a 9.575 for her routine as Michaela McGee mounts the balance beam in the third position. So remember, they can drop that 9.575, but they cannot afford any more mistakes in this beam lineup.
Back handspring, step out, layout, step out. Rock solid on that. Switch leap, just switch side. Small balance check there. Balance beam is not the event where you want to let your nerves get the best of you.
Ella Warren on floor, another 9.825 for Kentucky.
Aerial to back full, small hop on that landing.
Her head was so close to the end of that beam too, that kind of made me jump.
This difficult lead connection, the switch leap, switch side, just didn't have even weight distributed in both feet. The aerial to back full didn't, yeah, her head was really close to the end of that beam.
So a little bit of a shaky routine again for Georgia. Now back over to floor. This is senior Aubrey Rosa out of Covina, California. As we said, all 9.825s for Kentucky so far. They continue to put the pressure on the Gym Dogs.
Round back handspring, double lay first pass. That's the big skill we're talking about. They're E value skills. So you get certain 10th rewarded for the difficulty of the skill. Sorry, straddle full. A lot of jumping there.
They had a big win, obviously, last week against LSU, but Tim Garrison knows LSU did not have their best meet. He was excited about coming in here tonight because he knew Georgia was going to bring their A game, and he knew it would be a tight competition. He wanted to see how his team would react, and so far, through a little over 2 rotations, they look like they are ready for the challenge.
This team has a little bit of swagger to them coming off that win over LSU. That's a big, ooh, that was a good save. It looked like she didn't have a sturdy ankle on that punch, and she just still managed to keep it around on her feet. That was a little scary.
You can see that graphic right there, facing their top 15 opponent. And that will season you, and that win last week, as you mentioned, gave them a little bit of swagger, but That last pass, that's going to be a significant deduction, maybe the first flinch from the Wildcats. Michaela McGee does get a 9.8 for her beam routine, so not a bad score for her despite that wobble. Now this is Marissa Oakley.
A wolf turn, took a second to make sure she had her balance. Back handspring step out, layout step out. Front aerial, small balance check. Split jump, the yang bow. Marissa has beautiful flexibility and has very graceful leaps. Cartwheel gainer full off the side, small hop. That dismount you should be able to stick, and that's going to be an unnecessary deduction that she could have held on to.
Coming up next, we're going to take you to Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa. A tough place to win. Number 2 Florida is going to go in against Lexi Graber and the Alabama Crimson Tide. That should be a great one. Don't go away. Stay right here on Friday Night Heights. It will also be streaming on the ESPN app. Now back over to floor exercise. Aubrey Rosa just got a 9.675, so that is a score for Kentucky that they will want to drop. Now Alex Highland out of Foxborough, Massachusetts, an area of the country you are all too familiar with, Alicia. She mounts the floor exercise.
We have watched Alex progress over the years, and she is looking like she's doing her best gymnastics that we've seen her do in her senior year, which is amazing. Opened up with a very well-controlled double pike. I'm getting like very Fresh Prince of Bel-Air vibes right now.
That was my move from back in like the 80s. She just took that from me. I can't believe it.
Georgia Tay half, Wolf 1.5. Moonwalking it to the corner. Round off 1.5 front layout to a arabesque. That was a nice routine.
And I love that she's having fun. I mean, that's what it's all about for a lot of these young ladies on floor exercise. Show off, have a chance to have fun doing one of the toughest sports in the world.
It's all for the love with college gymnastics, and it makes you appreciate all the hard work these athletes put in over the years to get to this point. A lot of them have been doing gymnastics for over 2 decades by the time they get to the competition floor in NCAA.
So Marissa Oakley puts up a 9.825, a solid score. And now Rachel Bauman, she is just a freshman, mounts the beam for Georgia.
Aerial, back left, step out. Wow. Fortunately, didn't get her foot all the way on out of the aerial to go into the layout step out, which made her crooked.
What a tough combination, though. You have got to be right on. Crowd really getting behind her now. How hard is it to gather yourself after something like that, Alicia?
She didn't miss a beat. She got right back on. I think you can tell by her face she's just more upset and frustrated with what happened. And that definitely didn't feel good on her body when she hit the beam like that. So she's really tough. And I think if that was me, I would have taken a few more seconds to collect myself, try to calm down before I got back on. Finished the routine pretty well, considering that was a pretty big fall.
If you don't think gymnastics is a contact sport, just listen here.
That back foot wasn't all the way on. So painful. Here, that angle, you just didn't have that leg.
And her leg contacted that beam. She is going to feel that tomorrow. I'm glad to see her walking off, but what poise to get back up there and finish that routine. Now back over to floor. This is senior Sydney Dukes. Follows Alex Highland's 9.875.
Round off back handspring double pike.
Sydney is the SEC defending floor exercise champ.
Switch ring to switch half. Second tumbling pass. Front handspring, front full, front layout.
Sydney Dukes really represents a senior class for Tim Garrison, has meant so much to this Kentucky program. They came in and helped build the crowds. They helped get people interested to the point where they can improve their facilities. And they have done not so much on and off the floor for this program. Set them up for a bright future.
A little bit wide step on that double tuck. Had a little too much power. But very dynamic routine from Sydney Dukes.
Kentucky trying to do what they have never done in their program history, beat the Georgia Bulldogs head-to-head on the same floor at the same time. And right now they are looking to grab a hold of that lead again, as Georgia having some trouble on the balance beam. But somebody who can get things right is Sabrina Vega. She is a junior and she is one of the best in the country on this event. One of the most fun to watch on the balance beam. She follows Rachel Bauman's 9.0, an unfortunate score for her. Georgia will have to count Rachel Dixon's 9.575.
Switch leap. Yangbo. Front aerial to split jump. For the home team, each athlete gets to choose the music they perform their beam routine to. I think that helps give them a little mental edge. And Sabrina was sporting her moonwalk. Acro series coming your way. Back handspring step out, layout step out.
A lot of pressure on Vega. If they have another miss, this meet may quickly get out of reach. But man, the poise of the veteran.
She's used to being in high pressure situations. She was at World Championships. She was a senior national team member. She knows how to perform when the time comes and she needs to pull through.
They absolutely had to have that beam routine. Vega knew it. Vega delivers.
I love this connection. The front aerial to immediate split jump, full 180 degrees. Very smooth, stunning connection for Sabrina. Love watching her compete.
Sydney Dukes got a 9.875. Molly Korth, the junior out of Cambridge, Wisconsin, and Madtown Twisters, has a chance to give Kentucky back the lead after 3 rotations.
She's capable of doing a piked full in first pass. We're not sure if she'll do it here today. They've been working back up the endurance to get that in. Did an open tuck full in instead. Not the most control on that landing, but she had a lot of height.
Tim Garrison said this young lady is a power gymnast, and every once in a while they got to kind of reel her in a little bit, make sure she's not pounding on that body too much, not quite as many hard landings as she would normally do, trying to save herself and make sure she's in good shape for the postseason.
Front handspring, front 1.5 to back layout step out.
Sabrina Vega, by the way, ties a career-high 9.925 on the beam. Georgia is not going away.
Molly's getting ready for her last tumbling pass. Round up back handspring, double pike. Too much power. Unfortunately stepped out of bounds with that back foot.
And that is unfortunate for Molly in Kentucky because that routine might have hung right with Sabrina Vega's 9.9, but instead probably a 2/10 landing deduction on that last
She's looking
pass,
at
would
like
you
a
say?
9.8 for that floor routine. Based on how she landed the full in and the lack of control on the double pike, 9.8, maybe 9.7.
And going out of bounds, that is a 1/10 deduction. Needless to say, it is going to be a fantastic final rotation. Kentucky again looking for their first ever head-to-head win against the Georgia Bulldogs. We're also going to give you a preview of SEC and national news, and we're going to preview that Alabama-Florida meet.
Hi, Susan. Honey.
Yeah?
I respect that, but that cough looks pretty bad. Try this new Robitussin honey.
The real honey you love, plus the powerful cough relief you need.
Mind if I root through your trash?
New Robitussin honey, because it's never just a cough.
First, we huff.
Then we puff. Then we blow the house down.
Welcome back to Friday Night Heights on the SEC Network, presented by Belk. We've got a great one here as the number 7 ranked Georgia Bulldogs are hosting the 13th ranked Kentucky Wildcats, and through 3 rotations, a narrow lead. That Sabrina Vega beam routine was huge. They have a .025 lead over Kentucky. And let's take a look at our Belk competing with style routine this evening.
Huge bars from Kentucky. It was one after one. They were just building the momentum as soon as the first person was up. The huge scores, beautiful stuck landings and dismounts. Molly Court took it home for them with that huge full twisting double layout. Absolutely set the tone for this team going into the rest of this competition. And then Georgia, nice big reliefs moved from Alexa, and Marissa Oakley brought it home for them with a beautiful bar routine. Slightly close dismount, but she was not letting that phase her. A 9.925 for that routine.
That was tonight's Competing with Style, brought to you by Belk, and these are your national news and notes. Oklahoma, they still sit up top. Women's gymnastics, and also number 1 in the country on vault and beam. They've been outstanding. Meanwhile, the defending champs, UCLA, get a couple 10s from their veterans. And number 2, Florida, they have been outstanding as well. Have earned 10 of 18 SEC weekly honors. And speaking of SEC weekly honors, Alicia,
Trinity Thomas has gotten SEC honors every week that she's competed, and she is an absolute rock star for University of Florida. Alyssa Bauman is the specialist of the week from Florida, and surprisingly enough, her sister is freshman of the week for the University of Georgia.
when we are done here, speaking of Trinity Thomas, my early favorite, Alicia, to win the NCAA championship all-around title, but we're going to go see her, number 2 Florida, as they go into the Bee's Nest in Alabama to try to get a win there. Our score here, as we mentioned, it is a tight one. Can't get a whole lot tighter between Kentucky and Georgia. Next event, Kentucky will go to the balance beam. Georgia will try to close it out with Sydney Sneed on the floor exercise.
Our new hot, fresh breakfast will get you the readiest. Holiday Inn Express, be the readiest.
Nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I'll see you in there.
Networks, like surgeons, should never be just okay. AT&T is America's best wireless network according to America's biggest test. Now with 5GE.
The funky fun inbound. One of these times, I'm going to get our producer, Todd Koulis, to put us in there doing the whip and nay-nay. Are you in?
Sure, but I'm pretty sure Sydney Dukes was just doing the shopping cart, which is I'm way more on board with than the nay-nay.
I've been practicing my whip and nay-nay, and there's the fan couch. Some fans right off of the floor. as we head into this fourth and final rotation, it is a close one. .025 separate these two teams. Kentucky looking for their first head-to-head win. They've been dominated over the years by the Georgia Gym Dogs, but they have a chance to get one here, but they're going to have to do it on the always difficult balance beam.
Switch leap. Just a little bit unsure of herself on that landing.
There's your lineup and season average scores. Kentucky, meanwhile, is ranked number 20 in the nation on this event. And for Georgia, they're number 9 on floor exercise.
Back handspring, step out, layout, step out. Showcasing her flexibility.
Katie trained just down the road at Gymnastics Training Center with Brad McLaren, outstanding coach from the state.
Kentucky starting off with a hit and a stick routine.
And that is so big in a pressure situation to get that first hit.
Get that handspring, layout, step out, acro series. That back foot was really turned out. You don't necessarily want to see it like that all the time, but she made it work, and then sticking that beautiful back full.
Cannot ask for a whole lot more from the senior. Now over to floor exercise. This is Sammy Davis. And interesting for Georgia, the first 2 spots in the lineup have been challenging ones for them this season. They've jockeyed with those 2 spots. The last 4 gymnasts are outstanding. So if they can get through these first 2 routines and just get at least 198 from the 2 of them, it's going to set them up well on this event.
Sammy has struggled in the last couple weeks, but is looking like she's getting her tumbling under control, opening up with a big round-up back handspring, back 2.5 twist. Gorgeous half, split full. Sammy getting ready for her second tumbling pass. Round off back handspring, double tuck. A little bit short on that landing, but stayed on her feet. Last tumbling pass. Round off, 1.5, front lay, front tuck. Very happy to see her get through that floor set. She's been struggling, but she's found her stride.
That is big. I can't tell you how big that is for Georgia to get that one done, get it hit, and have it be clean, because they have got some big routines later in the lineup. Sammy Davis has flirted with some more difficult gymnastics, but it looks like Courtney Capets-Carter has taken it back a little bit and just wants her to be consistent, wants her to be clean. That's exactly what she did there. This is Josie Aganey, freshman out of Spring Hill, Tennessee. She follows Katie Stewart's 9.875.
Back handspring, step out, layout, step out, layout, step out. Swung that leg through, fighting to not get any deductions for that. Switch leap, beat jump. Aerial, back tuck full, fighting for that stick. Had a good distance between her feet, but shouldn't be hit with that big of a deduction for that.
Outstanding poise from the freshman. The last rotation for Rachel Bauman, it was not a pretty one. This happened.
Never the type of fall you want to have on balance beam.
But you know what? Dust it off, raise your hand, and you go back out on the floor. That's what you do in the SEC. And right here, the meat is on the line. Can Rachel Bauman answer the bell?
You have to have almost like short-term memory loss. So like, all right, turn the page, move on. You act like it never happened. because you can't let that one mistake on the previous event affect you in that next one. Open with the double pike.
Gutty.
Doesn't seem to be a problem.
Wow, stuck it.
Round up back handspring, double tuck. Switch ring, switch side. Unique connection of skills there. She does a double turn with her leg up to an inward turn to a switch leap. Last tumbling pass. Round up, 1.5 front lay. Almost doesn't get her feet under her, but she manages to stay on.
And by the way, stuck the landing. Holy cow. What a gutty performance. I don't get a vote, but I'm going to vote anyways. My gymnast of the week is Rachel Bauman. That was amazing.
Definitely trying to redeem herself after that beam routine. She opens up with a huge double pike, rock solid landing, and then that last pass almost doesn't get her legs underneath it, but fights to stay up.
You gotta love seeing that. She follows Sammy Davis's career high of a 9.775, which is a great start score for her. So Georgia with some passion on the floor exercise. Kentucky, meanwhile, a 9.875 and a 9.825 from their first two gymnasts as Haley Poland begins her beam routine.
Haley's rocking her signature look of the blue lipstick to match the Kentucky colors. Back handspring, back handspring. Definitely was not trying to do that as her acro series. Had a mistake, tried to fight for it, but unfortunately had a counter fall.
A rare mistake from the number 12th ranked gymnast in the country on balance, being Haley Poland.
Back handspring, step out, layout, step out.
She does it again. That is important. In a competition this close, getting back up and being clean can make a huge difference, can mean everything.
Front handspring, small balance check, trying to cover it up with some dance. A veteran move there. Switch leap, stag jump. Looking to finish her routine strong. Gain her back full, tuck full off the end.
Crowd loved it. We got some oohs and ahs.
She was supposed to do a back handspring last set, but she just balked. It looked like it either just didn't feel confident going for the skill and went for an easier back handspring and wasn't straight for that second back handspring at all, really. But she was smart enough to know she needed to get back up and do her acro series so she could still hopefully start from a 10.0.
Sydney Sneed mounts the floor. She's currently number 2 in the all-around, a quarter of a tenth behind Alex Highland. So a great battle there as well. But both of these teams going back and forth. Kentucky flinches on beam with that Haley Poland miss. Now Sydney Sneed trying to capitalize.
Opening up with a big double pike. A little bit out of control on that landing. Unfortunately, steps out of bounds.
And that is a big break. Big deductions. Rachel Bauman got a 9.8, which again, we mentioned, if one of those two girls first up in the lineup can get a 9.8, that is big for Georgia, but Sydney Sneed giving a few of those tenths back.
Her handspring 1.5 to Shishinova. To cat jump. Last tumbling pass, she goes whip back to 2 back handsprings, double back. Let's see how much juice she has to control the landings. Double tuck. Was not stepping out of bounds again. She knew better.
She looked a little labored on those back handsprings. I didn't know if she was going to have enough to get around, but she actually had the perfect amount.
She had a little too much power on the double pike. She should have let go of her legs a moment sooner, so she would have been able to get her feet on the ground and not hold on too long.
And I'll be curious to see what the judges do, because it looked like a couple of steps, both feet going out of bounds, really opened herself up for some major deductions. Now, though, the pressure is on Kentucky. They've got 3 gymnasts left. Molly Korth mounts the beam now, and they have got to be perfect if they want to do it. No Wildcat has done before. You see some of the credentials from an outstanding career for Molly Korth.
She graduated high school early, came to campus, started competing right away, and she's kind of been non-stop ever since.
At one point, I think she had more days in the gym than days in the classroom by the time she stepped out on that competition floor.
Cat jump to switch leap, to back tuck.
Haley Poland a 9.05. Obviously, they're going to want to drop that score. If they do count that score, that means they did not win this meet, because that means they had some more mistakes.
Molly getting ready for her dismount. Round off, double full. Tiniest hop on that landing. Back handspring layout, step out. In slow motion, you can see a little bit of loose legs, but in real time, that's really hard to see with the naked eye. The switch leap to back tuck.
She had a smile the whole time while she's up there, which is really hard for me to comprehend, being on beam and smiling about it. But Sydney Sneed, just a 9.675. So again, the pressure's on the last 3 from Kentucky. The pressure's on the last 3 for Georgia as well. And this is freshman Rachel Lucas.
Rachel has so much power. Huge double layout with room to spare in the back part of the corner. Full to straddle full.
They're going to hope to drop that 9.675. They're counting a 9.775, which is also, you never want to count a 9.7. If you're a contender in this country in women's gymnastics, you're not counting 9.7 scores.
Round off whip to 1.5 front layout. Switch side straddle jump. Round off back handspring, double pike. Nails that floor routine. Very minimal deductions, well-controlled landings. This should be a good score for Rachel. A little wink at the end. She knows it was a great routine.
They needed that one. Molly Korth gets a 9.875 for her beam routine. So Rachel Lucas really needed a big number.
Just finishing with such control. That was awesome.
So we're going to go back to beam with Sydney Dukes and Molly Korth, 9.875. I actually thought we would see our first 9.9 for Kentucky on beam with that routine, but the judges obviously saw it differently. Now the senior, Sydney Dukes. See that 9.05, they're hoping to drop that score.
Front aerial to split jump.
Again, the poise from Sydney Dukes and Molly Korth. They have that comfortable smile on their face, solid on the beam.
Switch leap, straddle quarter. Round off, 1.5 to a stick. That routine should definitely be a 9.9 minimum.
And Rachel Lucas on floor did get a 9.9. Does Sydney Dukes do the same?
Nailed that dismount. Still getting hugs. The gymnastics things, all the hugs.
If Kentucky wins this meet, she gets a hug from Tim Garrison's wife. She is the beam coach, Rachel Garrison. And now the pressure is on Rachel Dixon.
So many Rachels.
If Kentucky wins this meet, we might look back at that Sydney Dukes beam routine as one of the biggest reasons why. .950 for Sydney Dukes.
Arabian double front first pass. I have to say, every time she takes off for that tumbling pass, I'm not sure if she's going to make it because she never goes straight up and over the top getting into her Arabian. She always goes around the side, but still manages to stay on her feet. It's very impressive. Round off with 1.5 front lay.
Coach Courtney said of Rachel Dixon that she is as light and energetic as ever. In fact, sometimes you just need to calm her down because she comes with too much energy.
She looks fun. You know, like some people just look fun.
I think you want him to be your friend. Is what you're
She's
saying.
a little young to be my friend, I think, but she'd make me feel too old all the time with her youthful jubilance. Double pike. That routine was fantastic. Crowd's going nuts. I'm going to show you that Arabian double front first. If you see the way she takes off, it almost looks like she goes around the side. Her arms don't even go up and over her head, but she still has so much power that she still makes it to her feet. Ended that routine with that nice double pike.
Stegman Coliseum is on fire. The fans know what is at stake. They know the meet is on the line, and both of these heavyweights going back and forth. Now the pressure is on Alex Highland. She follows Sydney Dukes 9.95. Rachel Dixon matches it with her own 9.95. It is going to come down to these last two routines. Alex Highland for Kentucky and Sabrina Vega for Georgia. A 9.75 for Alex Highland will get her the all-around title, but I can tell you what, she does not care one bit about that. She wants to do what no Wildcats have done before. Beat Georgia.
Back handspring step out, layout step out.
I'm being told, and there it is, a 9.95 will lock up the victory for the Wildcats. That means she has to be perfect. Most importantly, she has to stick the dismount.
I don't know about our viewers at home, but I'm literally sitting on the edge of my seat, like so tuned into this. Granted, I'm calling this, but I'm also, you know, it's very exciting competition. I love it when the meets are close and competitive.
It's hard not to just be a fan, honestly.
100%. Cat jump, aerial, back fold, she stick it.
It was a hop! It was a hop!
That hop might not let her do it.
It won't guarantee it. Obviously, we have a floor routine yet to go, but here it is. She wants it so bad. You can tell, Alicia. Oh, that's a half-tenth hop for
100%. I know I made up the quarter-tenth deduction, but maybe it's a quarter-tenth deduction.
Well, if one judge sees a half and one judge sees nothing.
That's right. We're talking averages, people.
And here we go. Attitude has just entered the floor.
I wish I could walk into any room or anything the way Sabrina walks into a floor routine. That much confidence.
She landed a little short last week, stung her ankles a bit. They're going to water down this first pass. She's just going to do the double pike, but it's still a 10-0 floor routine, and it's still one of the most beautiful floor routines in women's college gymnastics. The meet is on the line for Georgia.
Ooh, fight and stay in bounds. Didn't move that back foot.
The score is in for Alex Highland. It's just a 9.825. The judges saw something we didn't.
That's a joke. I don't even want to talk about that. That was a beautiful routine and should have minimum been a 9.9. 1.5 front layout.
A 9.925 for Sabrina Vega will win it for Georgia.
Switch ring, Torjate half. And it's a very feasible score for Sabrina.
We talk about judgment calls today. We did the feature on judging, and it's going to come down to what the judges, how they view those landings. Were they controlled? Was that a half attempt? Was it not a deduction? And man, the subjectivity has never been more important than right here on this routine. It could go either way.
Round up by handspring, double tuck. That is a controlled step out landing. The landings that come into question in my mind are the landings on her Torjate full, the landings on her leaps where they're not super. She choreographs dance out of it so you can cover up if they're not controlled.
The last two passes, one more time.
The 1.5, a little bit loose legs there, but that step out, she knows where she is. She's not close to the corner. Ending with that double tuck. She gets 110 from one judge and a 9.95 from another.
And it's a 9.975 when the pressure is on Sabrina Vega. She delivers with a career high on the floor exercise, and the Georgia Gym Dogs, they fend off the onslaught from the Kentucky Wildcats. And still, history continues. Wildcats still have not beaten Georgia head-to-head, but my goodness, what a show tonight. Head coach Tim Garrison has some words for his team, and he's got to be proud, though. They didn't get the win, but they are really coming on strong here late in this season. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Such a great performance for the Wildcats. What Coach Garrison said he loved about them is that they came in loose, they were confident, they were happy, they were just having fun, and that's when they do their best gymnastics. And for the University of Georgia, this is huge for them, getting over that 197 mark with some extra wiggle room, and it wasn't their best meet. They still had more places to build up on, but a 197.3 isn't anything to bat an eye to.
Suzanne Yocklin back in the circle. The Georgia Gym Dogs, they get the win. Kentucky, nothing to sneeze at. All they did was put up the second highest team score in the history of the program. And there's the lady of the hour. Sabrina Vega gets it done. They win by .075. We have seen some unbelievable competitions here this season in Stegman Coliseum. We're going to catch our breath. We're going to wrap things up when we come back to Stegman Coliseum here on the campus of the University of Georgia.
Say there was a place, the perfect place for the everyday things you need to take care of around the house. The squeaky hinges and burned out bulbs. The toilets that run and faucets that don't. That perfect place wouldn't be a warehouse. It'd be just the right size. It would be an Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their stuff. Welcome to the home convenience store.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Friday Night Heights is presented by Belk, the home of modern, Southern style, and official retail department store of the SEC. Once again, we got some happy fans here at Stegman Coliseum. They're a little weird, but you know, whatever. They're having a good time. It was a great competition. .075, 197.3. Georgia gets the win over the University of Kentucky, 197.225. And this is the young lady that hit the clinching floor routine under all that pressure here at home. Big crowd. Sabrina Vega gets it done.
Absolutely stunning tumbling, so well controlled. She's such a poised athlete. Seeing her getting these scores that she deserves is definitely something we want to reward her. She is a dynamic athlete, and I know it's someone that the Georgia team falls back on a lot.
Kentucky has a lot to be proud of as well. Program record on bars, second highest team score in program history, which is outstanding. Career high marks for Georgia from Davis Dixon on floor exercise. That's the event that they got it done. That is their season high. Alex Highland, meanwhile, wins the all-around with a 39.55. Congratulations to her. But congratulations to this Courtney right here, Courtney Kupets-Carter. You get the job done. You're only your second season here at Georgia, but I know you have bigger goals. But right now, in this moment, is this one of the biggest wins for you guys?
100%. I mean, this team has really given it a good fight. Through all, so far, from the beginning of the season till now, there's still little things that we're going through. But wow, they just have so much confidence in the moment. They're not reacting to the mistake. There's a mistake, and then they just jump on with full all get out, pretty much. And that's what, to me, is going to bode them very well in the end.
Sabrina Vega finished strong for you guys. What is she like behind the scenes? I know her personally, but I want you to speak to her character as a person and as an athlete.
Yeah, you know, even the difference from last year to this year has been huge and tremendous strides for her. Not only is she now a leader, but she's just so confident in her skills when she gets up on the equipment. And that really just sets the tone for the rest of the team to be confident when she goes up on that equipment, because she's usually late in the lineup.
And you could see that panache when she sauntered out onto the floor exercise with all that pressure. But let's talk about another one of your gymnasts, Rachel Bauman. She had a rough-looking fall, and we played it over again. I'm sure her parents back home aren't going to like seeing this, but here it is again. But talk about the fall, but also what it took for her to get back out on that floor in a really important floor routine.
Well, that never feels good when you do that, but at the same time, it's something she said, you know what, I've never done it like that, which I'm glad she hasn't, but at the same time, she had to do floor next, and so we didn't know if she had hurt it so bad that she couldn't get out there, but she did, and I'm sure she will be hurting. But, you know, that's what college gymnastics is all about. You have a small error, but you have to get in the zone, get back in it. You can't think about what you did prior, and you can't think about the end of the routine. You have to stay in the moment, and so that's what she's been trying to do this week.
She definitely lived in the moment right there, no doubt about it. So talk about what you guys do from here. You got a heavy schedule coming down the stretch.
Well, it's crazy because this meet ended in such a tight race. It came down to the very last meet, and that's going to be our next few competitions for us. It's going to come down to the very last rotation, the very last event, and that's just something in the SEC that we're going to have to get ready for.
Working on fine-tuning before as postseason makes its way, what are you guys focusing on most? What do you think that needs to be the one thing that you're like, if we can fix this, we're going to be golden?
You know, and we've seen every event hit its peak except for beam right now. And so that's been the biggest thing for us, just to continually go at it. And, you know, we've went this week in the gym, and we wanted a 49.3 from 3 days in a row, because that's what it's going to take at the end of the year. And so, you know, we're still not quite there yet, but we have so much more than what this meet just showed.
Do you anticipate any more lineup changes from here down to the postseason?
Definitely not bars. That was the magical lineup for us finally, and they did a great job with it. But so, you never know.
So you're not taking Sabrina Vega out of that anchor spot on floor?
I do not believe so.
Well, congratulations, man. What a competition. Good luck to you guys the rest of the season. You got some tough competitors. I'm sure you guys will rise to the occasion. And Alicia and I are excited to be here because we are watching the rise of what we think is going to be one of the next great coaches in women's college gymnastics, Courtney Kupets-Carter. So congratulations to you and your Georgia Gym Dogs. They get the job done here at Stegman Coliseum. It was a tough competition. It was a close competition, but Georgia gets it done. 197.3 over the Kentucky Wildcats with a 197.225. For Alicia Sacramone Quinn, I am John Roethlisberger. So long from Athens, Georgia. We're going to send it out to Courtney Lyle and Kathy Johnson-Clark for a big one. Number 2, Florida, and number 9, Alabama.